Live 3 miles apart on the Lawrence Corridor in Chicago. Semi
Regular
regular Sunday.
Sundays.
It's our 70th remote show with our special guests Christian Royce, Sheria Mattis, Monk Kelley, and Shelby Copple. And now, the popular Netflix series about a British chess prodigy in 1960s, Flower Shop Bangers.
Woohoo!
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Stuart. How are you?
Good, thank you, and welcome everyone. You may have noticed I still have my Hanukkah decoration up from our two all-Jewish shows from last week. I figured because it is the fourth night of Hanukkah, why not just leave it up?
Yeah,
Plus, I keep forgetting to pull out the Christmas decorations. I've been busy.
sure. Yeah, that's a
Yes.
valid reason. I mean, it is still Hanukkah, isn't it?
Yep, we're about halfway through Hanukkah.
There we go.
As opposed
So,
to halfway to Hanukkah.
mhm.
Thank you to everyone who's tuning in right now. For those of you who don't know us, we are the Flower Shop Bangers. We are an improv duo, originally based off Chicago. We've been performing together for 7.5 years, and we've been hosting Zoom shows for the last 9 months. And from the looks of it, we're going to keep doing Zoom shows twice a week until whenever the pandemic ends. Heck, we've already started booking for next year already. Like we have acts lined up for January and February. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in right now. We always appreciate your support, and thank you for, taking a little time your Sunday night to see some free comedy. So Dan, before I give everyone the rundown of the show tonight, if you could say a few words about some of the small businesses that we're promoting and some of the upcoming fundraisers that we're supporting.
Yeah, so if you look down below, there's a little banner, and I have kind of like a rotating cast of images of fundraisers and small businesses. So all of these places are just places that honestly we just think are worthy of your attention. None of them really contact us. I reached out to a lot of them to make sure that it was like, hey, is it okay if I just like, I don't know, give you a little free advertising? So anyway, first there is what do you call it? A GoFundMe organized by the comedian Chris Red. Chris Red is trying to raise money to support people who are at Black Lives Matters protests who contracted COVID-19. So he's trying to help cover their medical costs. You can find the link to that GoFundMe in the description. Second, there is the bar that Stuart and I usually host this show at. It is Shakers on Clark. Shakers on Clark is trying to raise money for their bar staff because they can't employ their bar staff at this time with all the lockdowns and regulations. So they're trying to, give their bar staff some income right now. And to do that, they have a GoFundMe set up. You can again find the link in the description. If you happen to be at home, maybe having an alcoholic beverage, or maybe you just want to give money to them, go there and maybe give the money that you would have given to the bar for the beverage to Shakers. Third, there is a really great gym that I go to. It's called Bodi Shak. Bodi Shak is a Black-owned gym. They usually offer fitness classes right now. They started instead opting to have just kind of like booking time slots for the gym. The time slots, I believe, are limited to like 3 people in a gym. It's a smaller gym, so, but they are kind of trying to do their part to kind of stay in business. They have both a GoFundMe as well as a link to their website, so you can sign up for those time slots if that's something you would want, or if you're anywhere near the Uptown in Chicago. Last and certainly not least, there is First Sip Cafe. First Sip Cafe is a great little coffee and tea shop in Chicago. And I have a link in the description to get gift cards. Finally, if none of these businesses are you don't really have like a tie to them, or if they're not local to you, you can go out and you can support your own local businesses. I'm sure that there are things that you don't want to see closed right now that you can go out and I know times are tough, but any money that you can use to support these places, I think would always be appreciated. Back to you, Stuart.
All right, thank you so much, Dan. Um, yeah, if you can believe it, we've now done 70 remote shows, Dan.
That's a lot.
Just to kind of put that in perspective, so before the pandemic, we had been hosting a show at Shakers on Clark in Lakeview 2 or 3 times a month for like a little over a year and a half. I think in that span we did something like 35 shows. So the fact that we've now done twice that many on Zoom is certainly something to think about. It's amazing how time flies by. In any case, at this rate, I mean, we're definitely going to clear 80, 90, maybe 100 shows. I mean, just
Probably.
really, things go into 2021, hopefully you can hear me knocking on that wood. Nevertheless, let's keep it optimistic. Let's keep it fresh and exciting. We have a really fun show for you this evening. Closing out the evening, of course, are your co-hosts and co-producers of Some Irregular Sundays, the Flower Shop Bangers.
Woo!
Right before the Bangers, we have the Duke of Ypsilanti, comedian Christian Royce.
Woo!
Right before Christian, out of in Western Massachusetts by way of Chicago, Monk Kelley.
Woohoo!
Right before Monk Kelley, we have, I believe, out of New York, Sheria Mattis.
Woo! And
leading us off this evening is another comedian based out of Chicago. It's a pleasure to have right back in our show, Shelby Copple.
Hello. Oh my gosh. We're here. We've made it through another week. How's everyone doing? Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. It's just like it's an ebb and flow, Recently, I came home. I went home to see my parents. They got tested and I got tested. So it was all safe and good. And when I got there, my dad was using this contraption called a neck hammock. Has anyone ever heard of a neck hammock before? It's like supposed to pull your spine into alignment and you hook it to a door. It's like a DIY, like at-home chiropractor. But to me, it looked like a sex swing for hamsters. And I was just like, Dad, you're getting into some freaky shit. But it also, I mean, when I looked at it, he was like, no. And I was like, oh, all right. It also looks like a really cheap way to do a DIY suicide. And I'm like, okay, I guess I saw it coming. He's been wearing New Balance around the house, telling mom that her chicken parm was mediocre. I'm like, these are all death wishes for a man in his 60s. But yeah, so he was hanging it from a door in our home and like lying on the floor. And I live with all women. So for me, just taking up that much space as a man is toxic masculinity. But anyways, I was like, maybe I'll go use this in the garage because I was laughing so hard as he was using it. And I was like, well, but first you have to sign this piece of paper leaving me 60% of your assets because if you're going to do this, like just be smart about it. Think about your non-existent future grandchildren. Anyways, it's been kind of hard to be funny lately. I know some of us are feeling that, mostly because for me personally, it's because I went through a really hard breakup. We were only together for about a year, but it really stung. It was super hard to delete them off my phone. It was Twitter. I knew the relationship was toxic and it had to go. I got Twitter in January, and I think like the sign for me was like I would wake up in the middle of the night and my hand felt kind of too light because it didn't have my phone in it, and I was like, oh God. And I would tweet things out at 3 a.m. like, I am the girl who eats all of the pasta so that your pornos have that beautiful audio. Like, Shelby, what? So I just deleted it on Friday, and it's been a rough 2 days. I've been doing a lot of word searches. So, yeah, I started having sex again. Let's hear it for sex.
Woo!
And by that, I mean, I've started hugging the cashiers at Walgreens against their will. Let's just say I can see what all the hubbub's about. That shit is nice. The biggest downfall about sex is definitely the STIs you can potentially get. I'm thankful I haven't had one yet, but humble brag, more like, no. But my friend has a really fucking bad one. His name is William and he's 2. Just kidding. Just kidding. I love kids. I love them, but I have a problem with them. I've got a bone to pick with children. I feel like I would like babies and puppies more if they weren't always in the way. Like they're always like, they're so little that they're on the ground. And I'm like, just put them on stilts. I'm sick of tripping over your children and then being the one who's blamed for it. Like your baby was in the way. Baby stilts would be a life changer for me is all I'm saying. Today I went to the grocery store. Does anyone else shop on Sundays? And I went with no list, like a disorganized hitman. As soon as I walked in the store, I saw this leek. Do you guys know what a leek is? It's like a vegetable, a root vegetable. It looks like an onion. Yeah. Yeah. I saw it laying there lazily with no day job. It was just relaxing, being misted like a Greek goddess. It was plump. It was healthy. It was glowing. It was surrounded by other leeks. Never alone. It probably had health insurance, a loving partner, tickets to Paris for New Year's. Leeks can't get COVID. It didn't even have a mask on. So I stared at that leek for like 10 minutes, and I was just thinking about the cold darkness of my existence and tried to leech some of the leek's joy. But then someone asked me if they could get around me, and I had to leave. I didn't buy the leek. I don't have much to talk about these days because nothing ever happens to me, but I do have a story from the before times when we were allowed to do things. I last year was in California for my birthday. I used to live in Los Angeles, which is a big mistake. Never moved to Los Angeles. But I was there for a couple of years. And when I was back there, I was like, you know what? I don't really smoke pot anymore or do any drugs of any sort. Maybe I'll just try edibles again to see what that's like. And I ended up taking 6. And the thing about taking 6 edibles is that it's a mistake. And so I ended up, I was in this apartment. My friend had an improv show and I was in her apartment alone. And I decided, I guess I'll crawl to the neighbor's house and ask for some water. So on my crawl over there, I apparently passed out in the hallway because I woke up with a fireman standing over me, screaming to several other firemen below him, underweight Caucasian female. And I didn't like to be called an underweight Caucasian female. It's not a nice slur, okay? So I said, hey, she's getting thicker. She's working on her thigh exercises. And they were inserting double IVs in me as I was kind of protesting this. They ended up carrying me down the stairs in a blanket, and I rode with one fireman to the hospital. And the fireman said, don't worry, you won't die. No one's ever died of marijuana toxicity. To which I'm told I responded, challenge accepted. We got to the hospital and I looked down and realized that I had borrowed my friend's white Crocs, but they were no longer on my feet. So naturally, I started to accost the nurse and ask her where she hid my white Crocs. And if you've ever wondered, is your existence a mistake? Like, did my parents mess up by making me? It's the moment you have that realization should come when you're arguing over an ER nurse at 2 a.m. where are my white Crocs? That's not really a line you want to be saying ever on earth. So fighting someone. But anyway, so I just don't recommend taking 6 edibles. Obviously I'm missing out. Quarantine is really stifling me from living my best life because clearly I was doing so well before this. But anyways, I think that's I think that's what I've got for you guys today. Yeah, I mean, I guess we've got a couple more minutes here. Sports are back. Do you guys like sports? Do you watch them?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Okay, we've got some yeses, we've got some nos. The thing I don't get about sports is why. Why are you running so much? But I think I really think sports is starting to lose allure. Baseball is really slow. People aren't really tuning in anymore. And I think that's because the stakes are too low. What happens right now if the team loses? They lose some money, right? But what if every time the team lost, one of the players had to quit and become a personal assistant to an up and coming YouTube star? Come on, let's raise the stakes for these people. They should have a higher penalty. Yeah, so that's my take on sports. Yeah. At the beginning of quarantine, I felt like all my girlfriends were kind of sad and touch starved. So I would make up fake headlines and send them to them just to keep them alive and kicking. So some of those are just Barbara Streisand's cloned dogs are no longer speaking. Yeah, Britney Spears is being held captive, but not by her mother and her legal team, by old-timey British pirates. They're like, shut up, Shelby, please stop. I'm like, they're making her sing Gimme More as she swabs the decks. Joe Biden is already dead, and 2 children are stacked in a suit with a bad mask on, pretending to be him. Children might be Russian spies. It's unconfirmed. So if you have any other headlines that I can send to my friends to, keep morale going, let me know and I'll submit them. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That's my time. Have a great evening. It's a great show.
Shelby Copple, everyone.
Hey, woo!
Woo!
Great. Now I have to think about headlines. I for satirical newspapers, so now I have to. Okay, I can see if I can. Oh, content three ways. All right. Thank you so much, Shelby. We've got Monk Kelley on deck. Now, before we get to our next deck, we do have a couple of pieces of business. So normally when Dan and I host the show at Shakers, we try to do a little bit of audience interaction, and we check in with the audience. And in these crazy times where we have to do all of our meetings on Zoom and Microsoft Teams and Skype and what have you, we basically check in with our Facebook Live feed to see if anyone has any questions or comments or would like to share any soup recipes or what have you. Dan, how's the feed looking?
The feed looks great. I have a couple people that deserve some shout outs based on what I'm seeing. So first, I thought I would give a shout out to Marjorie Preston. Marjorie Preston, she watches the show and she's performed in it. She also shared, apparently she wrote a book about jokes about Cleveland, I think it looks like it is.
Ohio. She wrote a book.
Ohio.
Book.
Yeah, Cleveland is in Ohio, so that kind of counts. But anyway, in an article, in an interview that she did for the book, she actually mentioned our show. So we got mentioned in, let's see, what is this? This is the community news. Cleveland.com/community. Some website for Cleveland. So that's cool.
Okay.
I thought I would also give a shout out to Ya My Love. They're leaving us a lot of great comments. They seem to really like the show. I'm also very impressed with their apparent. They can either eat 1 or 100 edibles, and it'll all do the same to them. In my experience, I find that a little hard to believe, but good for them,
There's no tolerance.
And last but certainly not least, there is Mitch Kessler. Mitch Kessler is a friend of both Stu and myself who performs with us at the Comedy Clubhouse. So, hey, Hey, Mitch.
Hello, neighbor. Good to see you, buddy. So when Dan and I moved to Shakers in July 2018, we began a 2-man campaign to save Chicago barprov. So for those of you who are not from Chicago or not like in on what's going on in the Chicago comedy community, just a brief history. In the early and mid 2010s, kind of at the peak of kind of like the whole Chicago improv thing, there used to be free improv shows at bars scattered around the north side of the city. Mostly in the Wrigleyville area. I mean, Dan and I first cut our teeth at Underground Lounge. That was also where we produced our first show. But there used to be shows everywhere from AJ Hudson's to Mullins to the Horseshoe to Crocodile Lounge, a couple of other bars that I can't really think of off the top of my head. And one by one, these bars started going out of business, or the shows started getting canceled, or people just started moving in a different direction. I mean, the improv bubble kind of burst, so to speak. And by the time we moved to Shakers 2.5 years ago, the very concept of barprov had its back against the wall. So Dan kind of set upon ourselves to kind of be kind of that tentpole for the very concept of Chicago barprov, of seeing free comedy, not limited to improv necessarily, while you're getting shit-faced. As an incentive for our Save Chicago Barprov campaign, we have set up this improv tip jar, which I have designed myself out of only the finest plastic and duct tape. Yes, there is cash inside this tip jar. And it's been an incentive for people who are enjoying the show to give back to the performers. I like to think that it works 2 ways. And I'm not expecting anyone to walk up to my 3rd-story apartment in Ravenswood Manor and throw cash at me. And Dan is not expecting anyone to walk up to his third-story apartment in Uptown and throw cash at him. Well, especially because you have to ring the buzzer and you don't know my apartment number anyway.
If someone did want to come throw cash at me, I'm not going to turn down money, though. I would say that.
I get it. It just, but then we have to give out our addresses to Zoom, and we have a big international audience tonight.
Of course.
That's that's a stepping stone identity theft, Dan. So in a much more safer way of donating money, you can donate virtually. We've set up the tip jar virtually. You can donate either to my Venmo or Dan's Venmo, which I believe is right above us right here in the black box. And we are going to split the cash pot 5 or 6 ways. At the moment, our improv tip jar has roughly $12.18, which means split 6 ways. All of our performers tonight are going home, I should say, or staying at home with $2.03 a piece.
Woo!
Hey!
We did not tell any of our performers this evening that this was a paying gig. So if you'd like to make sure that they get a little bit more than that $2.03, throw a little money in our virtual tip jars. Dan has his and I have mine. Without further ado, our next comic is originally from the Chicago area, but now resides in Holyoke, Massachusetts. It is a treat to welcome back to our show, Monk Kelley.
Hi, how are you guys all doing?
Good.
You did 8 of these? Or I'm sorry, 80 of like these web shows? That's insane. I had like anxiety for 2 weeks over this one. I can't imagine. I don't know. I think COVID's making me more awkward. So I went to the post office the other day and I got stamps, and it was like my only social interaction. So I was feeling good. And I'm driving home and I see a postal carrier like cross the street, and I just hold up the book of stamps like, look. And they're like, didn't know what to do. And I'm like, what? Is this not how you greet each other? You just don't wave stamps at each other. I don't know. Remember before COVID when we could like do shit? That was fun. No, I used to be at a bar every night, and that's not like bragging. That's probably more a secret. But yeah, like there was actually this bar that I would go to all the time. It was like a block away from my house, and the bar, I thought everyone there knew me, and I went there with my girlfriend one night. And the bartender's like, IDs, I need your IDs. And we're like, wait, no, we come here all the time. We were here like yesterday, we were here on Wednesday, you were there too. And she's just like, no, IDs, I need your IDs. And we didn't have them. So we like went home to get them and came back. And when we got back, she was just sort of in the corner, just tweaking out. And I was like, oh, this is annoying. Her meth problem is interfering with my drinking problem. So I'm like walking down the street the other day, and this homeless woman compliments my hair, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much, that's awesome. And then a couple hours later, I was walking down another street, and another homeless woman compliments my hair. And I'm like, damn, my hair is polling really well with the homeless population in Northampton today. And then I looked up, it was the same woman. She just switched corners. I have a confession. So in high school, I was bullied by the anime kids, which sounds pathetic, mostly because it is. It's super weird though, like there's not many genres out there that you could look at someone and be like, oh yeah, you like anime, or you like horror movies or something. But like when I say anime kids, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. They're, so like an anime group of kids, they're like pretty diverse, but also like 85% white. Someone's wearing an Invader Zim t-shirt. The hottest girl there's like a 4. And it sucked too, because my best friend in high school, Peter, he was really into anime, and his friends just didn't like me. And I'm like, okay, that sucks. And then we went to the same community college, and I was having problems making friends there. And Peter's like, oh yeah, I'll just introduce you to my friends. And they're, I get there, they're all anime people, and like none of them liked me. And you could always tell, like, I'm not being sensitive. Like you could tell when an anime person doesn't like someone, because like they purr at you if they like you, and then if you're they'll hiss at you if you're me, but like I think I get it. Anime culture is sort of defined by being pretty sarcastic and condescending, while also getting bad grades in school. Which was the opposite of me, because like I don't understand sarcasm unless it's funny. Like, I'll be like, hey, do you want me to order pepperoni pizza? And they're like, oh no, I'd want a veggie pizza. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll get the veggie pizza. They're like, oh, I was being sarcastic. And I'm like, no, you were being a dick. I don't know. Okay, so fun fact. The United States has 10 times the anime conventions than all of Asia. Yeah. And like the state of Ohio has more anime conventions than all of Japan.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's like insane. So yeah, my point is weebs aren't appropriating Asian culture. Anime is Japanese, weeb culture is American. Don't blame them for that. I'm sorry, I'm being an edgelord tonight. Like I have a girlfriend, and she said if we break up, I have to delete all of her nudes. And I was like, okay, well, if we break up, you have to keep all of my nudes and look at them once a week. Are you guys familiar with attachment style theory? It's a theory in psychology about how we connect with each other. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's 4 types. There's securely attached people. That's a good one. You know where you stand. And then there's avoidantly attached people, and that's like kind of like a fuckboy. And then there's anxiously attached people, and they're like the really clingy ones. And then there's the mixed style, and then that's a combination of the bad two, and that's the one I am. And like and my girlfriend's securely attached, and it works out great for me. Like, and the mixed style is basically like, whatever, I don't care about you anyway, but please love me. So like we're on our first date, and she's telling me like her ex-wife actually had a lot of problems, and she like they were together for 10 years, and my thought was like, oh man, you're not gonna leave me. Like, I've been waiting my whole life for someone like you, and you've been praying for me. Actually, another thing is if you knowing what attachment style you have is there's advice, and basically all the advice for all the bad ones is like, okay, try to date someone who's securely attached, because they'll help you through your shit, and then you'll learn to be more securely attached. And then the advice for securely attached people is just like, don't deal with broken people's bullshit. Like, know your worth. Get out. I don't know. My mom used to gaslight me when I was younger. Did anyone else's mom do that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. My mom wasn't bad about it. I'll like explain. So growing up, my mom was, I'm like 4 or something. And I'm like, oh, mom, you have big boobs. And she's like, no, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like going through puberty, and I'm like, oh man, mom, I'm getting really big boobs like you. And she's like, I don't have big boobs. You got them from your dad. And I honestly just believed her until like a month ago when I said something about my mom having small boobs, and my girlfriend's like, what are you talking about? Her boobs are huge. And I'm like, how do you know? She's like, I don't know. Sometimes you can just see things with your eyes. And so yeah, like my mom did this like weird Jedi mind trick on me, like, these aren't the boobs you're looking for. I have a friend, he's a cisgender guy. He got like pretty offended one day because somebody asked him his pronouns. And like, I kind of get it, because I remember the first time I was asked my pronouns, I didn't know what a pronoun was. I'm like, oh shit, I hope they don't ask me what adverb I am. I didn't take the GRE for a reason. Anyway, like, we're in a circle. So before it gets to me, I Google pronoun. And when they got to me, I said that my pronouns were who, whom. Like, until you get to know me. Yeah, but I'm non-binary. I'm out about it at work. The most confused person was my grandma. My grandma's like, I don't know what non-binary is. And I'm like, Grandma, I don't identify as either male or female. So when you talk about me, instead of saying she or her, use they or them. And my grandma's just like, okay, but I don't talk about you. I think that's my time. It was really nice. Thank you so much. And congratulations on doing 80 shows. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. Monk Kelley, everybody. All right. Thanks so much. We have not heard from Sheria Mattis at all. So if anyone tuning in right now knows Sheria, she's a comic based out of New York. If you just drop her a line, let her know that we're looking for her. Hardly the first comic we've ever had that, maybe forgot the day or flaked out or what have you. But Sheria, if you're out there, we hope you're doing okay. Dan, do we have an update on the Facebook Live feed?
Yeah, sure. I thought I'd give a shout out to Marshall Epstein. Looking forward to getting your 50-cent Macau quarter to the tip jar. Yeah, no, that should be a great one. And maybe I'll just give another one out to Yeah My Love, just because they're commenting a lot, and hope whatever you're cooking is going fine, or the coffee you're getting or something. I don't really know what's going on there, but
Okay. Well, while we have a little bit of time to kill, I want to mention that I have a Facebook comedy page of my own called Stu News. I've been running Stu News for a little over 7 years now. It is I like to think of it as a short form comedy page. I post a late night style monologue joke 6 or 7 times a week. Sometimes I'll just post a headline and then basically just make a joke or pot shot at it. Thank you, Dan.
Sure,
and
yeah.
I am on the cusp of 1,800 likes. Like I think when I last checked Facebook this morning, I was at 1,796 likes. So if you have not liked or followed Stu News, I would highly encourage it now. I would love to cross that 1,800 threshold this evening. Not only like the page, but invite your friends too. If they like topical comedy, the more the merrier. Again, it's facebook.com/Stu News. Without further ado, our next comedian first appeared on our show at Shakers 2 years ago when we did an all Michigan show. All comics from the hand. He has also been in our remote show once before. He's a phenomenal comic. He's toured. He's opened for Mikey Winfield. Just really doing incredible things. I'm just kind of at a loss for words at some of the stuff he's doing. Please welcome back to our show, the Duke of Ypsilanti, Christian Royce.
Hey, that was a really gratuitous intro, but I appreciate it. I ain't gonna live up to that shit at all, but thank you for having me back. Stu in particular, happy Hanukkah. I didn't know you were Jewish, but that explains a lot. Where did Monk
I
go?
just do it to pick up girls.
No, because I related to you. I related to you hard. I also had a hard time with the Japanese with the anime community. I dated a Japanese girl in the 10th grade, and she cheated on me with a Tamagotchi Chia pet. So we all have our struggles, Who else I take notes on? Shelby, wave so I can see you. You there, Shelby? Hi, Shelby. You don't understand why athletes run so much. You're a white woman. Why do you run so much? White women are always jogging. You're always running from the fact that you're always running away from the fact that you're turning into your mother. And whenever you see a tall Mexican walking down, when you cross the street, you're at least doing a light jog. So just be honest with yourself,
All right. Maybe I should go into sports.
I didn't know our mic was on. Shit, I thought I was talking shit into the void, but that's cool. Hope everyone's healthy during quarantine. I've been trying to get in shape or be less fat. I've been trying to be fuckable. I'm trying to be fuckable every time everything opens up. and shit. Like it's Mr. Studio Girl 2021, especially when I get this haircut and shit. That's what I'm over on. And I'm feeling myself a little bit too. I'm feeling myself a little bit too hard. I've lost a little bit of weight. I'm feeling myself too hard. Like yesterday, I got home from work. I hop in the shower. My roommate and his girlfriend come home, right? And as a roommate, I want to be courteous. So I say, hey, you know what? I'm hopping out of the shower. I'll knock so to let you know when I'm coming out. That way you guys can go in the room or something. That's what I said. What I meant to say was, hide your girl, nigga. You don't want these problems. I will run your chick tonight. You don't want it, son. You don't want it. Spent a little bit of quarantine in Michigan. I'm from the Mitten. Spent a little bit of time there. It was rough because I didn't know that my mom essentially replaced me and my sister. Because like, me and my sister, like we moved out, right? My sister, she has a husband and a kid. I'm fucking, we had to go, right? But like, I didn't know until I got there that my mom got 2 Shih Tzus living in the house now. And here's how I know that she replaced me and my sister with the Shih Tzus, because she talks to the Shih Tzus just like how she used to talk to us when we were little kids. Like I remember everyone was in the house asleep and the dogs would start barking for like no reason at all. It's 1:30 in the morning, dogs are barking, what, shut the fuck up. Next thing you know, all I hear is my mom coming from her room just yelling, go to bed, go to bed. And then what I heard next, I'm gonna give y'all a spanking. I'm like, my mom's hitting the dogs. What the fuck? So like, I get up the next morning. I'm like, Mom, please don't tell me you're actually hitting the dogs. She's like, I'm not hitting them. I tap them with a fly swatter, but I'm not hitting them. Mom, if you so much as touch those dogs, white people will throw you in jail for life. Stop hitting those dogs. I need you to be around when I eventually have fucking children and shit, you know. But I moved back to Chicago a couple days ago. I moved to a neighborhood called Logan Square. Monk, you familiar with that shit? Logan Square?
Yeah.
Yep.
Logan is a very gentrified white neighborhood. Logan Square is so white. I left a can of LaCroix out on the stoop and my landlord thought it was new decoration. That's how white Square is. And here was my wake-up call. When I moved in, I lived in a 3-unit house, right? And the weird thing was that even my neighbors, not my roommates, all my neighbors knew my name before I introduced myself. It was really weird. It's like, oh my God, you Christian? You must be Christian. Hi, Christian, my name is David. How are you? And that's a weird way to figure out you're the only black dude in your building. You know what I mean? Just a really weird way. Like after like the 5th time it happened, I was like, y'all motherfuckers had a meeting, didn't y'all? Like, hey, this is gonna be a Carlton Banks looking motherfucker moving into the house. He has really fucked up hair. He's not taking shit out. He's moving shit in. Leave him alone. Don't call the cops. Don't need that to happen twice in the same year. You know? Trying to get that word in. One thing about Logan is a relatively safe neighborhood, except for the fact that I myself am definitely afraid of white women. And like white women have this thing right now where they have this really big chip on their shoulder about being brave. It fucks my life up. Because here's the thing. One thing about me, I don't like walking behind women at night. I'm very self-conscious about that. So like if I'm walking a certain way and a Caucasian woman is walking a certain way, I will go out of my way to make sure that, you know, she feels like I'm not following her. You know what I mean? So like a couple of weeks into me moving into this place, I'm walking back home and a white girl, she's drunk, falls out of a bar. I say, shit, I need to find a safe alternative route. Let's go down this dark alley, right? So I go down this dark alley and there's another white girl just chilling in the dark alley and shit with a fucking leather jacket, with a coin. I'm like, white girl, what the fuck are you doing in this dark alley? And I'm back at night. I'm like, bitch, that's your trash. What the fuck are you talking about? You're trying to be brave. I'm trying to get home safe with your goofy ass bullshit. But we live and we survive on this shit. One thing that annoyed me, back home, I found out that my friend started doing comedy. I started doing okay. He's like, oh, you can do it too, because you ain't that funny. Like, you know, that kind of shit, you know. And it's fine. I grew accustomed to it. Like my best friend is doing my favorite thing in the world. But I'm just saying it would be less annoying if like he didn't work out. You know what I mean? Because essentially he's doing what I do, except with abs. And that annoys the fuck out of me. Like he's going out, he's not only is he making people laugh, he's out fucking getting free drinks. I'm like, oh, he's living my best life. Oh, like, oh, fuck you. I want to date artsy girls too. He's messing around with girls that like listen to like Chloe and Halle while taking bubble baths and shit. I am 28 years old. I should not be this tired of single moms. That's where I am in my dating life right now. You know, like it's very confusing to try to set up a dick appointment around a play date. It's a very confusing, you know, like I'm trying to hook up with his mom. All of a sudden, a toddler comes out with an iPad. Like, you trying to see my mom win? 3:30 now. Paw Patrol comes on. You have to wait until 6. Okay. It's hard dating right now, man. It's hard. I'm not a Tinder person. Anyone else on Tinder? Stu, you on Tinder? No? Daniel? We haven't met, but okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, cool. Just checking on you. Monk, I see your hand raised. You are not.
Yeah, I was big into Tinder. I love Tinder.
Right, you know. You know you don't.
Oh, I love it.
You love Tinder.
Oh, yeah.
No, okay. You might do good on Tinder. Here's why I don't like Tinder. Like, I know what I look like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to convince a woman on a swipe left, swipe right. I'm not going to convince a woman in 0.5 seconds whether or not she wants to fuck me. That's too unrealistic. Like, I need 2 minutes to try to trick a bitch into thinking I'm interesting. That's like the better tactic. Because I know what this is like approaching a woman. Like, I'm a very thick dude. This is awkward butt that I'm working with as a dude. Like my face says AP calculus, my ass says Cash Money Records for the 99 and the 2000s. And that's what I'm working with. Approaching the girl, you know? And plus, like, it's very hard to date as a black dude, like with the image that we have out there, man. We have all these expectations we can't live up to. Anybody ever heard of blacks.com? BLACKED.com? If you never heard of black.com, like the whole premise of the website is to essentially take a small white woman and place her with a monstrous black dude with a weapon of mass destruction attached to his balls. And that was the first time I'd ever seen a porno and experienced fear. That was like legit. Like, you don't see some on the internet and it made you like rethink how you saw yourself. Cause like every black kid grew up with the black dudes have big dicks rumor. And when you hear that, you kind of think your grandfather's into the shit. But when I saw black.com for the first time, not only did I realize this wasn't true, black.com made me remember that I myself am part Irish. You don't see it like right away. It's like hair, black, elbows, dusty, knees, ashy, dick. Top of the morning to your last. How can I help you? You know? Yes. And that's my time. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Woo!
Good voice, everyone. Thank you. Really appreciate it, Christian. Hope you're doing well. I may as well ask while you're here, Christian, are you still in Michigan? I know you were up there when we last had you.
No, I'm in Chicago right now.
Okay, so you are back in Chicago because you mentioned you moved to Logan Square. I just wasn't sure if you were in Logan Square at the moment or you went back to Ypsilanti.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, in any case, great to have you, Christian, and thank you so much. Also, you're able to get a hold of Sheria Mattis. We are going to reschedule her. She apologizes. Just something kind of came up. Sheria, we hope you're doing well. Dan, one last check-in before our final act.
Yeah, sure. I thought I'd give a shout out to a Teresa Preston. And I also thought maybe I'll give one more out to Yeah My Love, because apparently they decided what they're going to cook tonight, and it is 2 tortas, or sandwiches on steroids, as they call them.
Ooh,
Also,
yeah,
Stu, I do see
taco cross with a cheeseburger. Yeah,
I do see Sheria's in the waiting room. Should I just admit her in?
Sure, yeah. If Sheria's willing to do a couple minutes. All right. Okay, so we are not.
Yeah, no, I thought I would also say, for those of you at home who are watching the show, and if you're enjoying it, I would recommend either liking the Flower Shop Fangers on Facebook or subscribing to us on YouTube. Either will help you to keep up with our shows, and just tell your friends about us too, because we always like having people watch.
Okay, absolutely. And just a reminder that our improv tip jar is still hanging tight at $12.18. Split 6 ways. That's again $2.03. Also, make sure to like and follow the Flower Shop Bangers Facebook page. I think we're right at about 560 likes on that, aren't we?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, awesome. So our last stand-up comic of the night is based out of Brooklyn, New York. She has a pretty solid Facebook and Twitter game. It is a treat. We were a little concerned that she wasn't going to make it, but it is an outright pleasure to have in our show, Sheria Mattis.
Hey, thank you so much for playing WAP. That's not my life right now. Let me cover my shame. I'm so sorry for sleeping through the entire day. I am full of fibroids. I'm full of them. I have 10 huge fibroids. I don't know. Does anybody know what fibroids are? Do you guys know what fibroids are? No? Okay. All right. So fibroids are they're like benign tumors that grow along the inside of the uterus. They say benign, but they're not benign to me. They're quite mistreated. Actually 80% of people with uteruses have fibroids. It's actually extremely common. Most of them don't cause symptoms. They affect Black women 3 to 9 times more than anybody else because everything's racist, including pussy. Everything is racist. Oh my God, can I curse on this? I'm sorry. You played WAP. You played WAP. Can I curse? So I'm full of them. I have 10 huge fibroids, full of them. I'm basically the worst gumball machine ever. You know what I mean? I find that funny. Anyway, like long story short, I'm on all these meds and shit, and I am an absolute mess. And I just got a job, and I've been unemployed the whole year, and like now they want me to like wake up and go and do shit and make money. Oh my God! So I'm like super tired. I'm not used to like working for money like a person. I'm just crying about it. Oh God, I'm so glad to be on this show. Thank you so much for having me and for having a Zoom show instead of a real show indoors, because there are 11,000 new cases today. Yes, bitch. Everybody's like, oh, it's over. What's the pandemic? Like what? Like it's still happening. And honestly, like I know you guys won't do it to save civilization. I know you won't do it for our future, but do it because I am an anxious Black woman and I already have a lot to be anxious about. Can y'all just stop? You're killing me. You know what I mean? You're killing me. You're killing lots of people, but you're annoying me. And isn't that the true crime? Lord Jesus. Yes, I'm from Brooklyn. I was from Brooklyn. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. Born and raised in Bed-Stuy. It's fine. Nope, it's fine. That's fine. Stuart. You know, there was a time when that used to mean something. When if I was from Bed-Stuy to a Stuart, he would cower in fear. And that was called respect. Okay? But that's fine. It's different now. It's different now. It doesn't have the same social currency it once had. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I can't be like, you know, because it used to be like that. It was Bed-Stuy, the home of Biggie and Jay, right? I used to be able to just like yell that shit out in a fight, and then not have to actually fight. You know, I should be like, yo, I'm from Bed-Stuy. I got niggas that will straight clap you. scared the shit out of everybody at my academic summer camp. It's different. How much time do I have? Are you gonna light me? Are you gonna tell me? Are you gonna light me? I'm sorry.
You want to do 5 minutes? You want to do 10?
How long have I been awake?
About 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
This is deeply unprofessional. I'm basically butt naked under here. Sure. I'm gonna do let's fuck it. Just stop me when you're sick of hearing me talk. I'm from Bed-Stuy, it's different now. It doesn't have the same social currency it once had, right? Like, fuck, I can't be like, yo, who the fuck you getting loud with? I'm from Bed-Stuy, okay? That's the home of Biggie and Jay. And also home to the premier artisanal vegan cupcake shop for dogs in the tri-state area. Yeah. Gang, nigga. Like, that's not gonna work. Look, Stuart's not scared at all. He's not scared at all. I know it's Zoom, but you can have the respect to hide your wallet. Let's see what it was. We were talking about body positivity. Are we body positive out here? We got this body positivity out here?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, me too. As I said, my body is full of nonsense, so I have to be body positive. This is really great. Do you know Chidera Igeru? She's also known as the Slumflower. She's a writer and an activist. You know her, Stuart?
I've heard of her.
Oh my God, amazing. That's amazing. Okay, Stuart, I fucks with you. Stuart's my nigga now. Don't repeat that. Chidera Igeru, she's a writer and an activist, and she started a body positivity movement called #SaggyBoobsMatter. And so that resonated with me in particular because I am a proud long titty bitch. Okay, what it is, I got long ass titties. It's what it is. It's what it is, right? Everybody out here talking about WAP. What about LAP? That's the new thing. They grew in like that too. They grew south, right? Like when I take my bra off, they just like unfurl. Just like ancient titty scrolls, just right on down the floor. Is what it is. And I used to be very insecure about him because I was saving money for a long time to get surgery to get them fixed. That's how I thought about them. I thought they needed to be fixed, right? But like long titties are natural, right? Long titties don't need to be fixed. All right, I only got 2 of you on board. Stuart's my man, and he's a queer Black revolutionary. But the rest of you, it's okay. It's okay. Hear me out, okay? That's what I'm here for. Point number 1, listen. Long titties are practical, right? Like, think about it. When you leave your house during this pandemic or whatever, what's the first thing you realize you forgot? Oh, shit, where's my mask, right? Mm-hmm. Right? You got to go back in the house. Go get your mask to be a responsible citizen. Not me. I don't. You know what I mean? All I got to do, take a titty out, wrap it around my face. I'm good to go. All right? And honestly, like, shit is dangerous, right? What if I need a weapon? What if somebody roll up on me from behind or some shit, right? All I got to do, whip a titty out. Oh my God, bro, you met a nigga with the titty nunchucks. The shock alone, you know what I mean? He's out. Daniel knows. He looked like he'd been hit with a titty or 2 before. You know what I mean? And listen, don't get it fucked up, okay? Because like long titties are sexy, right? Right? Hey, Daniel, yeah. I know you've lived. Let me ask you something. Let's have a lesbian moment right here. Let me ask you something. You ever sucked on a titty? You ever sucked on a titty from 6 feet away?
No.
No? All right. You know what? You haven't lived it. You got to. Titty hit different. Titty hit different when you suck it from across the room. I'm telling you. Okay? Listen, Danielle, I'm not offering. I'm just saying you can suck these titties and still stay within the CDC's recommended guidelines for social distancing, right? It's our time, okay? So I've started my own hashtag. I want y'all to be on the lookout for it. It's gonna be a movement. It's called hashtag long titty, strong titty. Okay? Be on the lookout. Thank you so much. I am so sorry. Thank you for having me. My name is Sheria Mattis. Thank you.
Sheria Mattis, everyone. Sheria, that was fantastic. Thank you. All right. Oh, goodness. By the way, the tip jar right here, right now. Please donate to Dan's Venmo or my Venmo. Also, if you've missed any part of the show tonight, this whole show is saved on the Flower Shop Bangers Facebook page. You can tune in right when the show ends, which will probably be at about, I don't know, about 8:20 Chicago time. Dan, one last check-in before we get to our final act.
Yeah, so no new shout-outs, but thank you to everyone who has tuned in so far. We really appreciate you. There's been a lot of comments on this show.
Oh, indeed. And we appreciate the interaction. Please make sure to spread the word about our show. We do this every Sunday and Wednesday. We will be back. That's the magic of doing a live Zoom show, because I now have to go through my notes, doing 3 things at once here. When we come back this Wednesday, December 16th, we're going to have improv courtesy of the Metaverse Brothers. Plus, we're going to have stand-up comedy from Ilani Nichelle, Ty Riggs, and Vita Zakauskas. So please make sure to check that show out. Also, if you are an improviser or a comedian who is tuning in right now and you're looking to do Zoom shows, please let us know. We book at flowershopbangers@gmail.com. Without further ado, your final act of the evening are the co-hosts and co-producers of I completely botched the intro.
Of semi-regular Sundays?
Of semi-regular Sundays. A name that's pretty much a moot point now, because we do the show every Sunday, Wednesday. But we did do this semi-regular Sundays at Jakers on Clark, at the 3100 block of Clark in Chicago. They've been performing together for 7.5 years and have done improv festivals in cities as far-flung as St. Louis, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Baltimore, Maryland. They're also in the Yippee Fest virtual arts festival this past August. Please welcome to the stage, Flower Shop Bangers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You can look above and you can see Stuart and my Venmo up top. Those are the Venmos for the tip jar. Yeah, any money given to either of those Venmos will be split evenly among the performers. So it will be up for the duration of this last act. So if you have some extra money in your pockets, we really encourage you to try to support the arts. So without further ado, we are the Flower Shop Bangers. We're going to do some improv for you, and we get weird with it. Oh, really? Really?
Yes, really.
Really?
Yes.
You're sure?
I am certain. Look at this. I painted the whole room blue.
It's fine. It's
what,
fine.
You just like the shade of blue?
No, I don't know.
This
is the third room of the house that's blue.
Yeah, but they're different shades of blue. This is indigo, and the living room is sapphire.
Yeah.
I
Who are you? Matisse?
The bathroom is periwinkle.
I mean, I don't know. When I think of, a home, I think of one that's, vibrant and welcoming and...
I think blue could be vibrant and welcoming.
Yeah, but
and personal and warm.
when every room is blue. I don't know. I feel like every room should have its own flavor, you know?
I mean, I get it, but well, maybe if you had come with me to Home Depot and we were going over color
I
samples.
gotcha. I know. I'm that guy. I'm being that guy. I'm being that guy who, had no input before, but apparently now does.
Okay, we went over color samples over brunch.
We did. You're right. We went over it.
Yes,
So I probably shouldn't be complaining at all.
right.
I mean,
I
here
mean,
we are, too, in our dream home.
The only color you shot down was navy.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really like navy.
Yeah, it's like I can't picture navy walls either, and that made sense. So I just
Yeah.
kind of rolled with it because we agreed that who paints their walls navy?
Who does paint their walls navy?
Yeah, because it's and it's from a certain angle. It's just painting it black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd almost rather paint my walls army.
Well,
That's a bit of a joke. That's a bad joke.
That's fine. It's a shade of green. I mean, we could have just I could have got a gallon of olive, and it would have been the same difference.
You know your colors.
Indeed, I do. I mean, I've always wanted to own a house. And I think ever since maybe I was like in high school, I was thinking about, well, once I get that house, like, how am I going to paint the accent wall?
I gotcha.
Paint the foyer? How am I going to paint the kitchen?
Sure. No, I get it. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I kind of trusted you to be that guy. You're the artist here. Let's be honest. You're the artist here. I guess I don't trust myself with color, and now that I look at it all, maybe I should have given more input.
I mean, I appreciate that you're apologizing and everything, but again, this house is just as much yours as it is mine. And,
I know it's yours too, Roy.
I was hoping you'd kind of chime in on a little bit. I mean, I get that you make more money than I do. I get that things have been crazy at the office.
Yeah.
Let's just, maybe we'll grow to love and appreciate it, and then we'll paint it any color you want. We can paint it.
All right. Maybe I think that's it. Maybe we have to live in it for a couple days for it to feel better.
Yes, exactly. I mean, right now we have 3 blue rooms, but they're 3 very different blue rooms. If you want orange or something like that, I can go to Home Depot and I can buy Home Depot orange or tangerine or sherbet. Or marmalade.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Marmalade. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, orange and blue I always felt worked really well together, actually. That was one of my favorite color combinations.
Of course. Chicago Bears colors.
Yeah, I know.
That would go work well with the navy. Navy
and
orange.
Also just complementary colors, I'm pretty sure, based on just normal color theory.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
When you line up, I think, like other ones are things like, I think purple and yellow is another one. They're Vikings, I guess. What do you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or, if you look at the Lions, I mean, it's like a light blue with silver.
Yeah. I mean, I think the last one.
The shade of blue I almost considered for this room.
I think the last one is red and, what would the other one be? Wouldn't be purple.
Red and yellow?
Red and green.
Oh, yeah, red, green.
Yeah,
we can confuse our colorblind friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right. We would confuse the colorblind friends. Also, I don't know if I'd want to be in a house that's Christmas year round.
Yeah.
It's a little tacky,
Yeah. Or people will think we're Stanford fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know we've just painted this house, but I am kind of falling in love with the idea of at least maybe one of these rooms, one of these 3 rooms. It's only a 3-room house. It's pretty, one of these 3 rooms could be orange.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you caught me just as I finished painting this room. I mean,
I know. Now we have to wait for paint to dry.
I just took my mask off. I had the windows opened. I was just about to peel the tape, so it didn't get into the windowsills.
Yeah. I get it. Timing is everything, including timing your complaints.
Oh.
I'm calling myself out right now, man.
Oh, okay. I mean, what have I been griping about?
You
I
haven't
mean,
been griping about anything. It's all me, man.
yeah.
I was too nonchalant during this whole process.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell. I mean, I've got my paint suit here. I mean, I've got like an old T-shirt and some jeans that don't fit me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of went ahead and did this because, I mean, again, you were caught up on the Hopkins project.
Yeah. Timeout, Stu. I'm just going to call a timeout right now. I think
Hey, how's the show going?
I think it's going fine. I think my major complaint is probably with myself right now. I said I'm being too nonchalant about this, and I think I'm being a little too nonchalant about this whole show right now.
You do seem a little nonplussed. Yes.
I'm being a little like this character is like way too self-aware of their own faults to really be interesting at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of nonchalantly telling them to the audience, which is just, I feel like, bad performing.
There's something, it is a little bit wonky. Yeah, it's kind of a comedy killer.
Like, I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. Do you have any notes for me? Maybe there's some way I can just like take it up at a level.
Question. That's a good question.
I mean, right now we are literally talking about painting walls.
Yes, we're painting walls and we're trying to make it a metaphor for our relationship.
So somehow painting walls is a very boring subject.
Yes.
And I'm being a very boring character.
Improv equivalent of watching paint dry.
Yeah. But I'm also being a very boring character, if I'm being honest with myself.
Yes, that's kind of why I was trying to like give you a gift. But it is what it is.
What was that gift? What were you trying to give me?
Well, I thought you were going to, you said something about me complaining, and I thought you were going to kind of retort with like maybe something that I've done. And for me to defend myself.
As in you were trying to start an argument. You were trying to kind of try and escalate this. Okay,
also awful in improv.
That's true. Arguments are also a bad move in improv. You're right. We are told in our improv instruction from what? I mean, you're a Second City graduate, as well as an IO graduate. I'm an IO graduate and an Annoyance graduate. I feel like
did not finish Annoyance,
you didn't finish Annoyance, and I never finished Second City. So, and quite honestly, Second City sort of exists now, and IO just doesn't. But anyway, I kind of feel that I don't know. Like I feel like the ghosts of our teachers should talk to us right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see if we can channel the ghosts of our teachers. The ghosts of our teachers. Let's see if we can summon. Hi, Dan.
Hello.
It's me, Lindsay Haley.
Hi, Lindsay Haley.
Hey, greetings from Virginia.
Do you have any notes on that scene? Did you see it?
Oh my God, I love the energy that you two have. I love that you have so much chemistry, but I just didn't feel any emotional.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I know I need to bring it. Yeah. I know. That's a really great note. How's Magic Mike Live going?
Oh, the show closed 18 months ago. I'm now living with my parents in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you have another chance to perform in something.
Oh my God, I absolutely love that. And please tell Martha I said hello.
Huh?
I think Stuart Martha when in level 4 in 2010.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's
Martha Stewart.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That makes sense now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. The seance is over.
Should we continue that scene?
Bad Craig Euler impression.
Oh, you want me to do a bad Craig Euler impression?
I could do a bad Craig Euler impression.
You know what? Maybe I should challenge myself to do a Craig Euler impression to bring up my energy. Hey, guys! I think that scene, Stuart, I'm going to be honest with you. It was okay, It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. But I'm going to give you this note. You can't just yes. You have to yes and. You have to understand. Daniel was doing jack shit, but he was establishing somewhat of a relationship and, so you got to add to that. And add what you want to it. if you feel like there are denials in there, then maybe call them out a little bit, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that would be my 2 cents, you know? Hey, you dummy.
Oh goodness! Wow, that was actually very insightful.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Should we get back to it now?
I guess we could try to give it another shot. You know, see if we could. And we still have like 3 or 4 minutes left in our set. I see.
Oh,
we
do we really?
Try and maybe, well, at the very least, try and salvage this.
All right, let's go back to that scene. And
Okay.
into the scene. What the fuck is this? I don't want blue fucking walls.
Well, maybe you should have gone to Ace Hardware with me.
Oh, really? Should have gone to Ace Hardware. What the fuck am I going to do at Ace Hardware?
Well, you could have helped me buy painting supplies. You could have helped me buy the tape that we could put over the windows.
I know I could have bought these things, but what the fuck would that have done? Nothing, because you never listened to me. Even if I would have went with you, we would have just went with what you want.
You mean like stuff that we could use to repair this house that we just bought?
Yeah, I know. We just bought a house. And you know what? It was mostly with my money.
I mean, we split this 50-50.
Yeah, I know.
This is as much your house as it is mine. So which means
know.
that I have some input in this.
I know. And part of the agreement was you would do most of the remodeling. But it doesn't mean that you get to decide on the design. And quite honestly, I think you just assumed that you could in some ways. And you assumed I was out of this. I don't know. Or maybe I was making assumptions. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, you're supposed to take a week off. I mean, come on, you've got the Hopkins project can wait. We just bought this house. We need to actually put furniture in this house. Come on.
I couldn't wait for the Hopkins project.
You and the Hopkins project.
I know, it's the Hopkins project. Time out for a second, Stuart. So I
Oh, hey, David, nice
think that was too much.
I mean, it was a little over the top. I mean,
we went from like
kind of
0
to
to
an argument scene.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but I felt like we had like, maybe like a little more character development.
Yeah. I mean, the last one was kind of like more of a passive aggressive argument scene, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of like almost like bickering newlyweds.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it's
I feel like this was kind of a step maybe too far in the right direction.
Yeah, I think we kind of went to kind of like we did like a total 180 and kind of circumvented the suggestions that Lindsay and Euler gave us. And I think we probably took it just too much to heart.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think some of your, like the suggestions from Euler, you did like take some of them, like, you just added in the Hopkins project. And, we were able to kind of run with that became kind of a central focus of, I was apparently supposed to take this week off of work. But at the same time, I didn't take it off because this Hopkins project is so important to me. I guess, what do you think is the heart of these two people's relationship?
I think that they're rushing themselves into moving in together. They're in some sort of long-term relationship.
Oh.
And they haven't, maybe they're kind of projecting some of their insecurities.
That's really insightful, actually. That actually gives me a lot more direction than I think I have had this whole show. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna try and get back into this character with that in mind.
Okay, well, we have about 30 seconds, so let's try it.
I think we're moving a little too fast.
I frankly, I was kind of afraid to say that too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love you, but I'm not ready to own a house yet.
I don't know. I guess it just seemed like the right decision at the time.
I can't keep houseplants alive. I mean,
yeah, I gotcha.
You have like a dog or a cat or something.
It is what it is, though. I mean, I bought it, and I'm not gonna give it up. I mean, the market was right.
I bought this too. I mean, I invested so much money into this. I mean, this is the best purchase I've ever made.
But I'm gonna be honest. It's not even necessarily like that I'm not ready to own a house. It's that I feel like we're moving our relationship too fast.
Yeah, I mean, things just accelerated. I mean, maybe, we could see where we are 6 months from now, but we got to do this. And, even if this relationship doesn't work, I hope you're a good roommate.
Yeah, no, you too. you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm probably gonna put this property on the market for rent, and I will give you some of the commission, and we can both find our own places to rent.
Okay, because I was just gonna say because
We
I
might
think
have a
it's
couple
really
nights here,
fun.
but I really just think that I really just think we're not ready for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you left the toilet seat up.
Oh, sorry. That's our show.
Welcome to the most meta flower shop hanger set ever. Thank you so much to all of our performers tonight. Thank you to Sheria Mattis. I'm glad you were able to make it. We hope to have you back soon. Shelby Copple, to Christian Royce, and to Monk Kelley. That's it. We've now done 70 of these remote shows. We'll do number 71 on Wednesday. In the meantime, please wash your hands. Please wear a mask. Please stay a minimum 6 feet away from strangers and acquaintances. Believe women and Black Lives